Shorty said she coming with the breadcrumbs, 'cause she saw a young nigga pull up in the Rover. Now she said she wanna come over, yeah, but I don't want no love. I just wanna make the moon la la, yeah, the moon la la. I just wanna make the moon la la. Go home and scream moon la la, yeah, I don't want no love. You know me, I only think about.
Hey everyone, this week's Top of the Chops is Rover by Simba, featuring DTG. It's number 3 in the charts at the moment and it's produced by Relight. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and we'll get straight into it. Okay, so we're in for a bit of a treat chord progression wise. It's very, very interesting in terms of what the chords actually are and the general key of the song. So we're going to do a lot of theory today. I hope you've brought your thinking caps.
Let's go!
So technically the key is in B minor. Our first chord is a B minor 7 chord, but the voicing I'm doing my 7th fret on the E string and then the octave, so 9th fret on the D string. Then I'm barring my first finger, so I get the 7th fret on the G string, and then I'm putting my little finger on the 10th fret of the B string. Now I'm finger picking this, so I've got my thumb on the root note, and then I'm doing P-I-M-A. Okay, it literally goes like that. And then I go down to an E minor 7, but this is a really interesting voicing as well. So it's probably been played on a keyboard, I'd imagine, but it's like a synth pluck. So I'm trying to get the voicing similar to what it is on the record. It might be wrong, but sounds good with the guitar. So I go open E in the bass, and then I'm going to do an open G, and then 3rd fret on the B string, which is a D note. Okay, and I'm using P-I-M. You get 2 hits on that. Okay, so we get, which is really nice. Then I'm doing a G major 7 chord. So normally I would do this 5, 4, 3, 2 from the D string onwards. But I tend to just keep these top 3 and then put my thumb over to hit the G in the bass. Okay, and then this is where the chords get interesting. So at the moment, all of those chords are diatonic to B minor. So we've got B minor, E minor, and G major, and they're all 7th chords. But this time we have an F sharp major chord. Okay, now normally in the key of B minor, if we think of it as well as D major, because they're relative, it's probably easier to find what those lower chords are. So it would be major, minor, minor. So normally we'd have an F sharp minor there, but we're turning it to an F major chord, okay? And then we do 1 pluck on that, and then we're gonna raise the bar off. So normally we'd have our first finger flat on the B string and the E string, 2nd fret, and we're gonna make it an open E, which turns that F sharp major into a dominant, okay, a dominant 7. So that whole phrase. Really, really nice chord progression. Now, those of you that know about your dominant chords, usually they're on the 5th of the key, of a major key anyway. Now, a lot of people put a dominant chord in a minor key as well on the 5th chord. So that's what's happening here. We've got our B minor as our key, F sharp is the 5th, and we're putting a dominant 7 in there. Like I said, normally if it's diatonic, we'd have a minor chord, but this time we've got a major and a dominant. Now, when you put a dominant there, so on the 5th chord of a minor key, it's sometimes called a secondary dominant, all right? But the major triad, in contemporary music nowadays, people usually pick what they want there. It's usually going to be a major or a minor triad, okay? But we've actually got the major and the dominant 7 in there.
Shorty said she coming with the breadcrumbs, 'cause she saw a young nigga pull up in the Rover. Now she said she wanna come over, yeah, but I don't want no love. I just wanna make the moolah la, yeah, the moolah la. I just wanna make the moolah la. Go home and scream moolah la, yeah. I don't want no love. You know me, I only think about.
So another interesting thing about these chords, when you have an F sharp major triad in there, you're technically turning that A note, which would be in the F minor, F sharp minor, into an A sharp. Okay, and if we add that note into our B natural minor scale, it turns it into harmonic minor. Okay, so technically it's B minor, but then when that chord comes in, it turns it to B harmonic minor. Now, when I improvise at the end, I'll do like a little improv showing you what you can do and what scales you can use over the top of it. But just to let you know now, what I'll be doing is a B minor a lot of the time, but then over that chord, I'll start hitting some harmonic minor stuff. Now, it doesn't actually matter if you put the harmonic notes over some of the other chords as well, because the cycle is so quick that that chord comes around quite often, so you get that feeling anyway. Cool, so the main melody, this is the other thing that we're going to look at today. So I'm obviously going to show you the chords on top of the song and the melody as well. Now, when you hear it, or you probably already heard it at the beginning of the video, there's the guitar melody over the top of the vocal melody, so you can hear how it matches up. Now, the main thing you want to do with this is really kind of get the melody in your head, because it's so syncopated, and again, it's like a rap sing vocal, so it's lots and lots of rhythm, really kind of interesting rhythms as well, and yeah, a lot of sixteenths, so just kind of going in between that 16th rhythm and putting some rests in there and stuff like that. So you've got to kind of keep that hand going, you know, as with some of the other songs that we've done. But yeah, I'm kind of using shape 5 and shape 4 of the B natural minor scale. So I'm around this sort of area. And as well here. And then I think it dips into, yeah, up to the F sharp note there in shape 1 as well. So between those 3 shapes for the melody. Now, normally I'd put the melody up high, but what I've done here, just because of the sound and the tone of it, when I'm playing along with the real song, it sounds really cool to put a little bit of distortion on and palm mute it. Okay, so try that out, but you could also throw this up an octave if you wanted to put the melody up high. So I'm sliding in with my little finger, interestingly, from the 4th fret on the D string. Okay, so up to the 7th fret. And that's your first rhythm. And that dun dun is on the 1. So this comes just before the bar starts, or the first bar starts. Just got to think of the melody now. When you haven't got the song in the background, it's quite hard to play along with. It kind of happens in 2 separate phrases. So think of that as your first one. And that's going between the 7 and the 4 on the D string. And then it finishes with. So it's going 7 twice, and then 4, and then down to 7 on the A string, and then slide that up to 9, and then back down to 7. So after you've done that, goes back up to the 4, but just kind of hangs on that 4 for a bit more now. Yeah, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 7 on the A string, and then slide back up to the 9, 7, and then 5 on the A string. Okay, so that whole first bit. And then you pick up really quickly on that 5. And I'm going 5, 5, 5, 5, slide up to 7, and hit it again when you get there. Okay, let me figure out where I am. This is where it gets a bit easier to kind of figure out where you are. So 7 and 5 between that a few times. Yeah, and then slide up to your 9. And then 7, 5 again. No! No! Okay, so after you've done that slide, we just hit a 5 on the A string. So So yeah, it's a bit kind of out of the blue. Okay, and then 5 again, and then 7 on the D string, and 7 on the A string twice. And then you got this same bit again. Okay, so that was the same bit from the first time. Then the last bit, we're going back up to the 4 on the D string. So this is the interesting part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 4s, and then hammer onto the 5. Back down to the 4 and slide it down to 2. And you're going to put a bit of a shake on it. Up to, yeah, almost like a bit of a vibrato shake. You don't want to pull it too far, and then that pulls off to open. So, and then you're going to slide in from nowhere to the 4. Okay. And then to finish it off, so you do 2 5s on the A string, slide up to the 7, slide up to the 9, and then hit the 9 again. So that whole thing. So what I'd suggest you do is at the end of this video, go right back to the beginning again, and you'll see a close-up shot of me playing that melody over the top of the guitar chords and the actual song, and it will make so much more sense for you to play along to. So all that's left is the improvisation over these chords. Now you see a close-up shot of me doing a little bit just at the end of the song, and I mentioned the scales that you can use earlier on. So just to recap on those, any shape you know in B natural minor and B harmonic minor is going to work, and it's going to sound really good. So yeah, just jam over the whole song, just pop the song on Spotify, and yeah, try out your improvisation skills. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to keep an eye out for next week's episode. And in the meantime, why not go back and check out all of our other videos by various guitar teachers.